numbers. The easiest way to do this is to make sure that all of your numbers are decimals. So whenever we have anything like this, I want to make sure I first convert all of my numbers to decimals. So this list, I'm putting it in order from least to greatest. I have 5 and 1/3, 0.45, 5.3, and 4/5. So the very first thing I'm going to do is convert 5 and 1/3 to a decimal because it's currently a mixed number. Well, to change a mixed number to a decimal, I'm just going to keep the whole number the same. So it's going to be 5 point whatever the decimal is. And to change the fraction to the decimal, we're going to do math, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So 1 divided by 3, which is 0.3 repeating. So this is just 5.3 repeating. 0.45 is already a decimal. Same thing with 5.3, so I don't need to change those. But again, I'm going to change 4/5 to a decimal by dividing 4 by 5, which is 0.8. So now for me to put these in order from least to greatest, I'm going to go ahead and line up all of my decimal points and fill in with zeros so that I can compare like with like. So the very first thing I want to see is I'm looking at the whole numbers. I see 2 of them have 5s and 2 of them have zeros. But if we're ordering from least to greatest, I'm going to start with the zeros. And then here I can look in the tens place. This one has 4, this one has an 8. Or this is 450 thousandths compared to 800 thousandths. So this one's going to come first. So 0.45 is the smallest. Then we have 4/5, which is 0.8. And then now I'm looking at my 2 5s. Well, this one is 5 and 300 thousandths, whereas this is 5 and 333 thousandths. So 5.3 is less than 5 and 1/3. For the next one, I have all these numbers in scientific notation. Well, when you are trying to put things in order that are in scientific notation, the easiest way to do this is to multiply all of these numbers out. So I would move my decimal 5 places to the right for this one and get 320,000. Here I would move my decimal 6 places to the right and get 8 million. Here I'd move my decimal to the right 5 times and get 185,000. And here I'd move my decimal to the right 3 times and get 6,090. So least to greatest, 6,090 is the smallest, then 185,000, then 320,000, then 8 million. So there it is in scientific notation. The easiest way to put numbers in order from least to greatest when you're in scientific notation is to convert them all to standard form. I'm going to do the same thing here. We're going to move 3 places to the left and get 0.00434. Next one, move 3 places left and get 0.003. Next one, move 2 places left, 0.012. And next one, 2 places left, 0.051. Again, I'm going to fill in with zeros so that they are comparable. And I can see moving across the list, they've all got zeros in the first place, which is the tens place. Then here we have the hundredths place. I have one with a 1, one with a 5. Well, these are larger than the 2 with zeros. Then I move into the thousandths place. This one has a 3, this one has a 4. So this is the smallest, followed by this one, and lastly that one. The easiest way to compare scientific notation is to make it all standard form. Here we have a hodgepodge of numbers. We have scientific notation, fractions, decimals, square roots, all of the good things. So we're going to convert all scientific notation numbers to standard form. We're going to make all of the fractions, square roots, anything like that decimals, and then we'll be able to compare them. So 2.2 times 10 to the third, I'm going to move my decimal point 3 places to the right because the exponent is positive, so that's 2,200. 2 and 1/4 to make a decimal. I'm going to keep that whole number of 2, so 2 point, and then I'm going to divide my numerator by the denominator, so 1 divided by 4, 2.25. Notice how I lined up these place values? That 0 and the 2 are both in the ones place, so they are lined up here. Negative 2.6, well, that's just going to stay the same. The square root of 6 is about 2.449. Next, we're going to change from scientific notation to standard form. That's a negative 2, so I'm going to go 2 places left, which would get me 0.038. And lastly, we have 0.2. Then I can fill in with 0 so that I can compare this properly. And the smallest is obviously going to be our negative. Then we have our 0.038, then 0.2, then 0.2 or 2.25, then 2.449, and then 2,200. So that is all back in normal. All right, feel free to move on.